job matching is using a job analysis, identifying the requirements of the role and matching them to the skills and attributes of the job seeker, client, or learner. So it's about the right person is going into the right role. So getting the job match right is absolutely a key part of the supported employment process.
And it's something that is done with people. It shouldn't be done to people. So this is not about me telling somebody the job that they now have to go for. It's about working in partnership and thinking about what's going to support them, what's right for them, what's right for their families.
I suppose job analysis is the vocational profile for the employer. It looks at the different routines that somebody might have to do. So it looks at the core routines of the job. It looks at the episodic routines, so the parts of our job that we do less frequently. It looks at job-related routines, so where somebody hangs their coat, have they got a locker, do they have a mobile phone policy? And it also looks at the culture of the workplace, because every workplace is different. It looks at the requirements of the role. It can go into a lot of depth in terms of what tasks need to be performed, how are they naturally performed in the workplace. It looks at the co-workers and allies. It looks at any additional sort of external training courses that might need to be considered. So job analysis is a vital and pivotal part of the supported employment process when it comes to job matching someone.
And we complete quite a comprehensive job analysis with that employer. What that means is we go into the employer's premises with the employer and we have a look at what the job involves. It might even involve us having a go and doing a bit of the job ourselves so that we really understand the timings. It could mean that we shadow one of their members of staff to understand the timings, for example, of how fast they need to do certain bits of the job, the standard that's expected. It's important that we know all of this. We need to know what kind of skills is required as well. So whether basic reading, writing, math skills, how somebody signs in the morning. Do they have to sign the name? Do they use a card? So very, very basic stuff that maybe other people don't quite think about can be really important to the clients that we're working with. So it's important that we know exactly what's involved in that role.
And once you've built that rich picture of the employer, you've got the rich picture of the individual through the vocational profiling, and then the next stage is job matching. So you actually can use those two tools to make sure you're matching somebody that is not only right for the business, but the business is right for them. And it's making sure that you're taking into account things like culture as well. You could have somebody that could do two jobs. So if you looked at the job description, they could do both of them, but actually one environment is going to work better for them. And I always tell a story about an amazing gentleman that I worked with years ago, who was the most flamboyant person you'll ever meet. Loved to sing show tunes. I mean, he was my absolute dream to work with. But we found two different roles that matched his vocational profile, really thinking about the things that he wanted to do. But actually, one of them was in a library and the other one was in a marketing company. Now, you can imagine he could have done either of those jobs. But actually, if he'd gone into the library, he may have had to be just a little less of him. Whereas going into the marketing company, actually, they embraced every part of him and it fitted really nicely into the culture. So it's making sure that when we talk about that good job matching, it's not just about the job, it's about everything that it entails.
What we do, as well as getting to know the employer really well, we need to know their culture, what they're looking for when they recruit, what kind of skills are needed. Separately to that, we will have completed a comprehensive vocational profile with the people who we're working with. And that means we've spent some time to listen to them and to get to know exactly what they want to do, what they struggle with, what they've done before, and we will know from our relationship with them whether it's going to be a good match or not. We would never put somebody forward for a role where we didn't think it was right. It wouldn't be fair on an individual, and it wouldn't be fair on the employer either. It's important that we get it right.